Pablo strikes again.
I gave you all the chances. Women commanders.
Buoyancy. It sinks. Oh. Like a torpedo. Like glug glug. Good evening and welcome to Table Talks. I'm your host, Levi Fox, and I'm here with the gang. We got Michaela Daly, Sela Shields, Bailey Snydowski, Lydia Chambers, Caleb Teachout, Caitlin Smith, Ethan Fox, and Mr. Eddie Torres. Looking forward to this episode tonight. This is the final one we'll be recording for the year, but it's going to be a good one. We got some great things to talk about today, but as usual, we're going to start off with our popularity battle, so take it away, Sela.
All right, this is a segment where we all put our phone in the middle of the table and see who is the most popular.
Excuse the mess.
Usually, I think the girls win. Maybe I think you've been the winner so far, or Andrew. But
If Andrew won the lead, he can't be anymore. He hasn't been.
Yeah, right. So, once you get a notification, you turn your phone around.
I should have said something to thank myself.
All right, now we're going to be moving into our table divided segment, which is what everyone's opinion is on the Bermuda Triangle and the conspiracy surrounding it. So first of all, I'm going to give just a brief introduction on what even is the Bermuda Triangle and what are we even talking about. So this is a loosely defined area of about 50,000 square miles between Florida, Puerto Rico, and the Bermuda Islands. There's a lot of myths and legends that date all the way back to Christopher Columbus. There have been many, many missing ships, airplanes, and different things that have disappeared seemingly without a trace over this area. There was never any documentation of missing ships until the 1800s, and it wasn't really thought of as odd until the 1950s, when it was popularized by an article in the Fate magazine in 1952 called Sea Mystery at Our Back Door. At that point, many authors started writing conspiracy theories and novels and stuff based on the Bermuda Triangle, but it was somewhat disproved by science in the 60s. However, it cannot be denied that there's been some odd occurrences. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a transport ship carrying magnesium, disappeared without a trace. 306 crew members were lost. In 1925, a ship called the SS Cotopaxi sent out a distress signal during a tropical storm, but then died. Disappeared without a trace, and the crew died. I got a notification, by the way. And then in 1945, a flight team of 6 planes disappeared over the Bermuda Triangle. They said that their compasses quit working and they got disoriented.
Wait, how many?
It was 6 planes.
Wow.
They had gone out for like a practice run type of deal. So anyways, those are the most popular stories, and there are many, many things that could happen, and I will leave you with a kind of an eerie quote from the leader of Flight 19. He said, "We cannot be sure of any direction. Everything is wrong, strange. The ocean doesn't look as it should." And so there's no doubt that there's unusual things that happen, and so starting with T-Tout, we're going to go around and pitch our opinions.
Feel free to comment on everything.
Okay, just confirming. Are we making up our own conspiracy theories, or saying okay, cool.
Whatever you jolly well please.
Also, just a small side note. I think it's really anything named Flight 19 deserves to be in a conspiracy theory somewhere.
Flight 19. So that's basic. That was basically the entire episode I listened to about Flight 19, and I heard there were 3 planes, but there was a few planes that were headed out on just like a test, regular thing. But the leader of the 3, before he left off, he showed up late, 2 minutes after you got to do it anyways. And but so he's like, all right. So 20 minutes after schedule, they ended up taking off, and you're just going over the sea, and you're supposed to be easy come back, and then suddenly the commander was like, hey, something, my instruments are going wrong. And the guy that's on land that's talking to him, he's like, dude, trust your instruments, you know this, and you know exactly what's going on, you can trust, you can trust your instruments. But the guy just keeps going. He's like, no, there's something wrong. Sometimes my altimeter is at it's this high, and the next second it's dropped crazy, and then it's back up, and it's going absolutely nuts. And the other pilots were saying the same thing. And they're told to follow the leader of their group no matter what, even if it doesn't make sense. And he's like, let's just keep going this way. And they completely lost where they were. They had no idea. Because normally, I guess you're supposed to fly, find the sun and fly west, and go along the coast when you're doing something like that if your instruments aren't working. And they just, they didn't even do that. They're like, no, we just gotta go straight, and maybe we'll hit land. And they went into this super thick, dark cloud, and just going straight into the Atlantic. It was pretty creepy because then they started seeing, they could describe some sort of creature, something big and weird that they didn't understand. Yeah, the sea didn't look normal.
So what do you think happened? What's your theory?
My theory
Incompetence
Weird
or
stuff going on.
mystery?
So all the planes disappeared. I'm talking too long. I know. Hey,
What's your theory? We're wondering what your theory is. That's what
I
happened.
think, and I heard this both in the podcast, and I heard Mark Rober say it. Although he's an evolutionist, but yeah. Thank you. But he said the reason that there are so many like accidents and stuff that happen in their area is because you look at the flight map of like all the planes that travel. That's like the highest concentrated area. So of course there's going to be most problems because that's where like the highest concentration of travel.
Boring.
I think some of the stuff could legit be satanic with some of the creepy stuff that they described. Because like ships don't just disappear.
Take care of this.
So
are you saying that planes are legal ground?
planes?
Oh, just the triangle's legal ground.
I will say Satan is the prince of the power of the air. Yeah. So like even UFOs
All
and
right,
stuff
yep,
like that.
time out.
But,
Get Dr.
all
Love.
right,
We'll settle this.
yeah. So yeah, sorry that took 7
Next time, Sela goes to Aruba.
Caitlin, you're up.
Let's just be
That will
honest.
be
I did
interesting.
research. I looked at a little bit, but Lydia and I were talking earlier, and I've heard several things. I didn't really know a whole lot before. But she said something about like the magnitude and stuff because on the opposite side, there's kind of a similar triangle.
Okay.
So I don't know if I actually have
Magnetism?
a take. Yeah, I don't know if I actually have a take on it, but yeah, I've definitely heard several things.
Okay, so here's my theory. So fossils, right? Fossils in the ocean. So here's what happens. Here's what happened to the USS Cyclops. I'm telling you. All right, just hang on for a second. So fossils, like places where all these fossilized things are in ice and underneath the.
We don't talk about ice here.
Yeah. Anyway, you was that. Okay, so fossils under the ocean floor, right? They get disturbed by like an earthquake or something. When they do, all this like magnesium gas like explodes. I looked it up, and then it releases, and it's got nowhere to go but through the water. So there's these massive gas bubbles going through the water, right? So USS Cyclops sailing over at just the right time. Massive bubbles come up. They drastically reduce the buoyancy of the water, and bang, ship gone in seconds. No time for SOS, no time for help.
Does the bubble
Gone.
carry them away first, or does it bring them down?
No, buoyancy. It sinks
Oh.
like a torpedo, like glug glug.
The Cyclops said, glug glug.
Basically, the ocean turns into soda. Basically, what? The Bermuda Triangle is like 50,000 square miles of ocean. Nice try though.
Honestly, like simple answer, it's the Kraken. Covered in glitter. Glitter is personal preference. Kraken, I think, makes a lot more sense. I think Pirates of the Caribbean did it well. I think they actually filmed it in the Bermuda Triangle. That's my opinion. But I think it's a glitter monster.
You're saying
Giant glitter
Pirates
monster.
of the Caribbean is live footage?
Pretty close, yes.
All right, so here's my personal take on it. This is my personal opinion, but in 1952, in the center of the Bermuda Triangle, the United States decided to build a hospital to do terrible things to people. And in the 1990s, Michael Obama was turned into a woman and was made the vice president of the United States. No, that's what I think would be funny. But I think it actually might be because of like where it's located. I could see that part of the world because you're located between 3 different bodies of water. You could get some kind of crazy amount of waves coming through there that are like if the tides, because you have the one coming down from across the Atlantic, it curves down and goes south into the Caribbean Sea. I don't know if there would be something there that this triangle is different from anywhere else. I don't know, but I could see if they were saying. I think Lydia was saying that they said the water looked different. If the sea level was looking different, like was coming at them or was lower than usual, they could have like been flying at a low enough altitude where then they got cleaned out by like a colossal wave that's caused by the shifting currents. I don't know. From my 2 minutes of research, that's what I have decided to conclude.
Well, where to begin? Well, it is located between 3 islands, so I believe there is some sort of prehistoric creature that still lives at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle, and there was a time when a hurricane hit the Bermuda Triangle, and there was originally an island in the middle, but when the hurricane came, the beast started going round and round and creating a sort of a whirlpool of sorts. And this was a very shallow island. Its depth overall was just very shallow, so its probability of staying afloat was less likely than the other islands. So when that whirlpool started to form, the water started coming onto the island, and eventually it overtook the island, plunged it to the bottom, and there was a lot of mineral and also magnetic sort of fields in it. And so every time now that there are certain ships or planes that go over that certain area, it draws those certain aircrafts and shipcrafts, and they are no longer found. But the beast essentially just eats anyone who comes to the bottom, but ultimately, that's how it is.
Whoa. I think that
Not as cool as the ocean soda, though, in my opinion.
you mean the ocean farts. I don't know what I believe. I'm just like a big I get swayed so.
Bleep! That's not the Baptist way.
I just believe anything. So I believe it. I trust all of you. But I think you all get a participation award. No, actually I do. I don't know. Is there a possibility that all this is crazy and they actually do just disappear? And
That's absurd.
because genuinely, remember at the beginning of this year when there was so many planes that kept crashing or whatever, or all these things. In reality, if you look at the statistics, it wasn't that many more than they usually do. It was just that since they were being spoken about and on the news, everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, there's so many." But you actually look at the statistics, and there's not that much more than there usually was.
So it's more popular because of all the crashes in the news, and you think that part of the world being very heavily trafficked?
Yeah, I think boats disappear everywhere, and people disappear all the time. But just something happened there, and now everybody's like, "Oh, it's creepy," and makes it a bigger deal than it is.
So, totally random side note, T-Chow and I just decided that we're taking a Table Talks trip on a wooden raft to the Bermuda Triangle.
Nice. I don't know. It's just maybe I don't know. I just feel maybe since it's so watched and everything that every time anything happens, oh my goodness. But we don't look at all the other ocean in the world. Just my opinion. But also anything that Bailey says is correct because she told me to say that.
Okay, long lost twins.
Okay, mostly because I need someone to back this. Okay, hear me out. Don't judge this before you hear the whole story. Back in wherever...
Bailey's logic.
So logical. Okay, back in whenever this was a big thing, I don't even know the dates because I literally just dreamed this up last night in my bed with no phone. I think there was a super ultra top secret government agency of women commandos. Ignoring that. I think since back then it wasn't okay for women to do anything. Women literally couldn't even vote. I think they realized that women, not that they're better than men, but I think they realized that women are a secret weapon that you can't underestimate because the whole world expected men to be doing the ones fighting back then. Yes. So they could have, I'm not trying to be feminist or anything. I think they figured out, shush, I'm not a feminist. I think guys are more talented and stuff like that than girls are. But I think back then they realized that no one would see a team of women coming. So it was a government top secret agent thing, and literally no one knew about it because it was female run, all females.
What are we talking about? Bermuda Triangle! Lydia!
Yes. Okay, so going back to what Michaela was saying about the island, I think the island was actually there. But the hurricane, we have found that scientists can manufacture hurricanes to a certain extent. I think they made the island go away once women started getting more rights and women started being able to join the military, and therefore
After all their operations went wrong and they produced Michael Obama.
Shush.
And they realized the females couldn't drive the escape car. They're like, "Oh, you know what?
Can I have that? Can I have it? Thank you.
Whoa. Pablo strikes again.
I gave you all a chance to talk, and I thought there were some pretty stupid opinions out there.
That's true. If T-Chow got 20 minutes, you can have at least 50.
Well, okay.
Okay, finish. We were at the manufactured hurricanes.
Okay, and I think they made the island go away because they wanted to wipe away all secrets of ever being there. And notice there haven't been any more mysterious Bermuda Triangle crashes or anything happen in the last 20 years. Since women have gotten more rights and since women have been able to do things that men can do. And I'm not trying to be a feminist. I'm not saying what's right or anything. I'm just saying, what if there was, and they had to make aircraft and ships and anything that passed that way go away, basically. Because think of all the world happenings that happened that no one knows who did it. Think all the assassinations of important world leaders or random things, random serial killers. It could just have been women.
Bailey was actually
I just want to know what they did with all the 10,000 tons of rock that was on that one ship that went away.
Okay, you can use rock to make a lot of things. I think they literally were just making bombs. And think of all the.
You might say they were stuck in the Stone Ages.
I just think they realized what women could do and yeah.
I think that's a really freaking idea.
I think that was the funnest one.
That was definitely the most.
To me, that's one of those things that I definitely want to take that idea and write a fictional novel. That sounds
you should co-author it.
That sounds really good.
I think that was a lot better than some of the other takes at the table.
I did hear the idea. They steal your socks. I did hear the idea that it could be how people eventually disappear to become CIA agents.
They just send them to
Which sounds cool. And you don't have to be a woman to be in the CIA.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah.
Can we go deeper than the CIA? Think of 9/11. You think that was the CIA? They're way too stupid.
All right.
So
Final opinion on this today is going to be Lydia Chambers,
yes.
the nerd bird herself, on the subject.
Time limit starts now.
So, I think from a scientific perspective, it makes all the sense in the world that there would be some sort of magnetic situation going on there. There is an identical triangle near Japan called the Devil's Triangle. And if you think about the magnetic forces of the North and South Pole, it would make sense for there to be a east and west pole of sorts. It could make sense. But that would explain the erratic... Well, it's me. It would explain the erratic compass behavior and all of that. However, here's a random twist that I thought of to throw into the mix. Teachout was talking about how Satan is the prince of the power of the air. There's kind of like there's these creepy situations that people find themselves in. You know the verse where it says that God will throw our sins as far as the east is from the west? What if there are 2 points of east and west buried in the deep, deep sea? That's my take.
Like an east pole and a west pole.
You're saying that's where our sins are buried?
Yes.
I think God can make our sins just go boom, personally.
Well, that's silly. And sink ships, not the sin bubbles.
Since I get to start the new topic, I get to close that one by saying, I like the one in Commandos. What are we doing? Guys.
Out of context quote. We need to put these at the beginning of the episode.
It's like women commandos.
Beep. Okay. Segment number 2 is risk of rank. No, order, forget it. I apologize. I can't read. What is the take on today's supper? And since this is the first supper meal that we're actually ranking, rank it honestly as you can, but also give grace because it's the last supper. And speaking as an ex-kitchen worker, I know it's very difficult to make food. Eddie, you do too. Don't be mean. But personally, my mac and cheese was trash. 1.
Be racist, she said.
1.
I actually love this chicken. It's my favorite chicken, so I would give this a solid 4.5.
Dude, it just didn't really cut it.
I wasn't really hungry. I just came for table talks, so 1.
Aww.
Okay. I thought it was okay. I mean, it was kind of dry, and the sauce was a little sus, but the sus sauce. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 3.
2.
I'm actually really enjoying this meal. I'm kind of on the same thing with Lydia. I'd say it's a solid like 4.3.
I think it's food, so I'll give it a 3.
I really don't. I just ate it. But I wasn't. I really don't. Leap. I really liked it, but it was just okay. It was like a 2.
That was Sela's version of saying Merry Christmas.
All right. Now we're going to play a game, all right? So I've called it Risk the Rank. Basically, all we did was we had everybody list their favorite Christmas song, secular, and favorite Christmas hymn on a piece of paper. We're going to go around the table, picking the song out, and everyone's just going to try to figure out who we're talking about here.
Ready?
All right, Eddie's going to go first. Grab the mic when you talk.
All right. Secular. With a thankful heart.
Oh, that's from Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Oh, okay. Seen it once. Sacred. He is born the divine Christ child. All right.
That has to be. Does anyone even know what that is?
Nope, and it's written in a foreign language, so it's Michaela. All right, good job. All right, Mr. Fox, go.
All right. Let's see. Okay. So for secular, we've got White Christmas, and for sacred, we've got Silent Night. I'm thinking Teach. Teach, is it you? Oh. Is it Caitlin? Oh, Caitlin with the White Christmas and the Silent Night. Okay.
Okay, let's see what we get here. Oh, this definitely looks like girls' handwriting. For secular one, it's You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, the
Bailey.
jazzy one. And then for sacred, it's What Child Is This?
Bailey.
How did you guys guess? That's crazy.
Bailey.
Grinch, Bailey.
All right. All right. For Christian or sacred, go tell it, and for not sacred or secular, Feliz Navidad. Whoa, that's crazy. crazy.
Actual crap.
Oh, this already got handwritten. Holy moly!
That's a song?
Hey.
This is the scratchiest chicken scratch. Okay, it's this. I think this is teacher. I'm just prefacing. Maybe that's the problem. Okay. Oh, anyway, maybe it's not teacher. Christmas Carol is joy to the world, and non-sacred, bad music. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, it's Ethan. It's the most wonderful time of the year, Ethan, for sure. Those got mad chicken scratch.
Carve it out for me. So for secular, I have White Christmas. Oh, yes. French cursive is White Christmas, and the hymn is Who is He in Yonder Stall?
Cheech.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
White Christmas has taken the leaderboard in popularity.
Yeah, that's right. Amen. It's a good song. My current favorite Christmas song is "He'll Be Coming Down the Chimney." It's so cool. I heard it for the first time like a little bit ago, and I'm like, that is awesome. All I want for Christmas is you.
Oh, it's Lydia.
All I want for Christmas is you. And God rest you, merry gentlemen.
Yeah, it's Lydia.
God, you rescue Mary, gentleman.
Gentlemen, that's all I want for Christmas. Okay.
Or to quote Andrew,
Sacred is I Heard the Bells, and secular is Sleigh Ride. This is. I don't think it's fair because I know some of you guys' handwriting.
yeah. Oh, you graded mine before.
I can just know when it's Ryan.
Oh, is there one more? Yeah, you get the last one.
Oh, I we can't get it.
Oh, I wonder who could it be?
Oh.
I could do them dirty right now. What? Frosty the Snowman and the Coventry Carol. No, it's Let It Snow and the First Noel. Okay, Let It Snow is fire. All right. I guess. That was good. Let It Go was not a Christmas song.
No, let it snow.
Well, I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Boys did lose.
Yeah,
We got absolutely smoked by the girls.
Men got wrecked.
All,
Thank you very
all the
much.
girls' phones are down. All of us guys have not received one text except for Ethan. Ethan did, but me and Eddie are isolated apparently. So that's all we've got for you this time. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you all next time. I'm Levi Fox.
I'm Michaela Daly.
Seal Shields.
Inside Elsie.
Lydia Chambers.
It'll teach out.
Caitlin Smith.
Ethan Fox.
Eddie Torres.
And this is Table Talks.
Bada bum bum.